Hello, 7th graders. Miss Schwartz here. Sorry I'm gone today, but I figured I could make you a video lesson just in case you like hearing me talk about the information and so you can have it if you need a better explanation. So, in your planner, please make sure that you have first half of World War I and U.S. enters the war written down. As you do that, I want to make sure that you know that you can always pause the video. So if you need something, if you need to go to the bathroom, if you need to finish taking your notes, pause the video. You can always come back to this. Okay, so your bell ringer today. What is the difference between a battle and a war? Now, I want to give you a heads up. This is going to show up on your test. You will be asked to tell us the difference between a battle and a war. So, I would write down what I'm about to tell you. Now, a battle is one fight. It could be a long fight. It could be going on for months or even longer, but it is one fight. A war is the overall conflict, and it is made up of many battles. So battles go into wars. They are part of wars. A war cannot fit into a battle. Today we're talking about the events of World War I leading up to the United States joining. So we won't talk about the entire war, but we'll talk about a good chunk of it. Starting in 1914, in June of 1914 actually, Franz Ferdinand, who we talked about last time we met, got assassinated. And that is what started the entire war. Literally only like 2 months later, in August, Germany decides they are going to invade not only Belgium, but France. So they invade 2 countries. And they're really, really good at it. By September, Belgium is gone. And France is defending whatever little land they have left. So Germany is really good at invading these 2 countries. Now, also in September, on the 6th through the 12th in 1914, is the very first battle that we're going to talk about. It's the Battle of the Marne. You will need to know the name of these battles and what they are famous for. For example, the Battle of the Marne is famous for being the first battle that uses trench warfare. It happened really close to Paris, France, because remember, France is defending itself at this point. If the Germans take France, they take the entire country, since that's their capital. So, they are going to defend themselves very strongly in hopes that that does not happen. The British are also going to join the French, and luckily for the Allies, the battle ends in a tie. They don't win any land back, but they don't lose any land either, which is the good part. I want to point out today, too, by the way, any black and white photo that you see is from this war. These are real photos from this wartime. So, I just want to say that they're all real. All right, in 1915, Germany is going to keep gaining more and more land and more power. They are going to invade Russia. They will invade North and South. They're kind of going all over the place. They're also going to use the first chemical weapon, so the first toxic gas. It was called chlorine gas. And it came in these like giant tubs that they would open up and then shoot over in their cannons or in their artillery. This happened for the first time during the Battle of Ypres. That's how you say that. I know it looks crazy, but it's Ypres. It happened in Belgium. It was during April, and it caused a lot of casualties because the other side did not have a gas mask. They didn't have a way to protect against this. Also in 1915, Italy is going to join the Allies. They decide that they want to gain more land as well, and they're hoping that if the Allies win, when they win, the treaties will give them more land. So they're buying into the Allies winning. Germany is going to also make a mistake in 1915, which we'll talk about in a second, and they sink a very important United States ship that is going to cause problems for them. On May 7th of 1915, German torpedoes, which is like a giant underwater bullet, it looks like this. It kind of explodes when it hits something, but it can like swim through the water. Now, a German torpedo, 2 German torpedoes actually, are going to be shot at the ship called the Lusitania. I know it looks like the Titanic in this photo. It's not. It's the Lusitania. It's just similar. It was a luxury passenger ship, similar to the Titanic. It was smaller though. And it was not a military ship. There were not military people on the ship. It was people like you and me, like mothers, daughters, sons, old people, men that were not in the military. So normal people. And they were traveling from the United States to England. Out of the 1,959 passengers on board, 1,198 of them are killed, including 128 Americans. So not only did Germany blow up our ship, but they also killed our people. Now, why would Germany do this? Well, at the time, they had something called a naval blockade in the area of Great Britain by England. A naval blockade is kind of like a wall of boats. If you look at this top picture, it gives you a really good idea of what this would look like. So it's literally a ton of warships all by each other, and it is meant to block part of the ocean off. It's so you can stop the enemy from entering or leaving the area, so you can stop supplies and soldiers from getting in or out. It is meant to sort of protect that part of the water. And Germany had a naval blockade in the area that the Lusitania was sailing. But when they warned the United States to stay away, and they told the United States they were sinking ships, the U.S. didn't listen. They decided that since they were a passenger ship, they would probably be fine. They wouldn't get shot because Germany wouldn't do that to a passenger ship. Well, unfortunately for them, Germany did. When Germany realizes that this is a passenger ship, they apologize. They realize they made a mistake. They offer to pay for the damages and for the ship. And they even promise to end surprise attacks against passenger ships. The United States, though, is angry. They are very mad. Not mad enough to fight yet, but they are mad. Now, in 1916, we have 2 very important battles you need to know about. The first one's called Battle of Verdun. This one happens pretty much the entire year. So it starts February 21st, and it goes till December 18th. It is almost the entire year. And it happens in France. You'll notice a trend here. Now, this is World War I's longest battle. It's going to last almost the entire year. It is very, very long. Luckily for the French, the Allies are going to win the battle because, again, this battle was over a military fort, over a very important spot in France. But the Allies are going to win at a very big cost. Over this year that they are fighting, over 600,000 people end up dying, which is a lot of people. Now, during the Battle of Verdun, there's another battle going on in a different part of France called the Battle of the Somme. Or Somme. The Battle of the Somme. This one starts July 1st and goes until November 13th. So it's also very long. It is also in France. Now this one is special because it is the first use of tanks in warfare. They are going to be used by the British first, about halfway through the battle, because they realize things are not moving very quick. We need to just fight with this new technology and get it over with. Now, this is going to be crazy. It is going to be a crazy battle. Over 1.2 million people are dead. 1.2 million. Even crazier, the Allies do end up winning, but they win only 7 miles of land. So think about that. 1.2 million people dead for just 7 miles of land. That number is insane to think about. It is incomprehensible that that many people died in general, but especially for that small amount of space. Now, after the Battle of the Somme, we're going to continue seeing tanks in warfare, just like after the Battle of the Marne, we continue to see trenches. So as we are going through these timelines, you're gaining more and more strategies, more and more technology. Now, everything that we've talked about so far has been on the Western Front, in France and Belgium, that area. We also need to talk about what was going on the Eastern Front. Germany had also been invading and attacking Russia. Russia had been fighting back, but they had lost a lot of their land to Germany in various invasions and various battles. Now, the Russian people are unhappy about the war. They are dealing with other issues at home too. They are dealing with starving because they do not have enough food. They are dealing with being poor because they don't have enough money. They're dealing with a lot of things that are not helping their country. And Russia just wants to leave the war. They know they're not winning. They just want to be done. Now, important context here. During this time frame and before World War I, Russia does not have a government like they do now. They don't have a president. They had a king and queen, and they had a royal family. So this picture right here is of the royal family. Their names were the Romanovs, and they were in charge of everything. In February of 1917, the people of Russia decide they have had enough. So they start a revolution. They're going to start a fight in order to remove the king and queen from power and create their own government. Now, they are successful. They manage to not only remove the royal family, but the entire royal family, including their 4 girls and their little boy, end up being killed. When they make their new government, Russia decides we're done with the war, we're going to leave the war, and they abandon the Allies. So now the Allies are down a person. They don't have someone to fight with them. However, we are about to show up. Someone else is about to show up. Now, remember, we were kind of angry about our boat being exploded in 1915. We were not happy. But we weren't mad enough to start fighting. That is until this second event happens. So in 1917, the British are going to find a secret coded letter written by a German named Arthur Zimmermann to Mexico. Arthur Zimmermann was in charge of foreign affairs, so he was in charge of talking to different people or different countries for Germany. Now, the British are able to decode this letter eventually. This was a telegram that was sent using Morse code. Morse code is noises that tell you different letters. So if you play this video over here, it'll tell you, or it'll play the sound for you. I'm going to play it for you. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but I'll play it. So that's Morse code. And each of those noises equals out to like a different letter of the alphabet. So before people had phones and before they had emails, they would use that and the radio to send messages across big distances. Now, this letter, if you look at the bottom, this is the code. They were able to decode it. Germany, turns out, Germany was asking for Mexico's help in World War I. They wanted Mexico to fight with them. And in exchange for that, once Germany won, they promised that they would help get United States land in the South. So they would help get places like Texas and California and Arizona and New Mexico back for Mexico. Because remember, the United States had taken all that land. The United States was originally upset about the boat, for sure, but we were very angry about this message. We had decided we weren't going to join the war. We weren't going to do anything. We were maybe helping with money here and there and helping with supplies here and there for the Allies, but we weren't joining the fighting. Once we realized, oh, yeah, you're going to attack us either way, we get really, really angry and we join the Allies. And then war is on for the United States. Okay, please make sure that you do your summary for your notes on the bottom, and then those go in your folder like normal. You don't turn them in. You do have an assignment to do. So, your assignment. Here we go. This assignment goes with actually our lesson for the next time I see you, but since everything is so rushed and squished together this year because of block schedules, we do have to start it right now. So, this is an assignment talking about the technology of World War I because that's kind of what we're learning about next lesson. What you need to do is read the readings in Schoology. They're in the assignment or on paper. The substitute should have a paper copy for you. And then fill out the charts with the information that you are given. Yes, you need to do this on paper. You should use full sentences and make sure you answer every question carefully. So you need to read it very, very carefully. Now, I do have an example one for you. The first one I did for you. It is talking about submarines, so U-boats, and you have 4 questions to answer. Number 1, when was it used? Number 2, how and why was this technology used in World War I? Number 3, why was this a good weapon to use in the war? And number 4, what might be some downsides, some bad things about using this weapon? So you're going to have a reading. This reading is going to look like this. So at the top, it has the name of the item and it has the reading. And then below that, it's got pictures for you to look at for context. Now, I want to read this first one to you really quick and then go through our answers so you know what's going on. So it says, at sea, the Germans used submarines, which were called U-boats, to block trade. They were invented in the 1850s, but got bigger and better during World War I. These underwater ships were also equipped with big guns and torpedoes to shoot at enemy ships carrying war supplies and food above and below water. German U-boats responded by hunting in what were called wolf packs, where multiple submarines would stay close together, making it easier for them to sink a specific target. German U-boats sank over 11 million tons of Allied shipping, which stopped the Allies from getting their supplies. Now, you are going to need to use the reading and your context clues to answer all of these questions. For example, the first one, when did they use it? Well, we know that World War I started in 1914. So, if U-boats were invented in the 1850s, that means U-boats were around before World War I. We also know that they used them during World War I to fight. And then context clues, do we still use them today? Yes. So, you would want to circle all 3, before, during, and after. All 3 of them. Some of them you are only going to circle 1. Some of them you will only circle 2. But in this case, you would circle all 3. Now the next question, how or why was this technology used? You're going to explain what they used the item for. So for example, Germans used U-boats to sink ships that were carrying enemy supplies. And they used torpedoes to do this. So again, if you look at the reading, it is in there. Okay, it says they used both guns and torpedoes to shoot at enemy ships carrying war supplies and food. So we know That's what they were doing with it. It is in the reading. Now, why is this a good weapon to use in war? You need to use your context clues a little bit. What is special about submarines? What is something they can do that no one else can or no other technology can? Well, we know submarines can go underwater, right? If you go underwater and other people don't have submarines, it means you can hide. They can hide. This also means they can sneak up on people and they would be safer from attacks. The last question, what might be some downsides to using this weapon? Again, you need to think about how this item is unique. So, if they are attacked, there is a problem in which they're in a giant metal tube, right? You are sealed in a submarine. There is no way out. So if they are attacked, everyone is going to die. If they go too low, it could get crushed by the pressure of the water. It's slow to move. It's hard to see underwater. Any of those reasons would work. You need to have at least 2 reasons, at least, for both the good weapon and the downsides. Okay, you probably won't finish this assignment today, and that's okay. I don't really want you to finish it today. We'll do that in the next lesson. But if you need to go back and look at any of the slides, you are welcome to. If you want to replay parts of this video, go ahead. I will be back on Monday, and if you have any questions, then we can answer them then. But other than that, I hope you have a good day. I hope you are being respectful and kind, and I hope you have an awesome weekend. See you guys later.